So this is kind of the beauty of Dragon Slash. You just group everybody together, say, hey everybody, I gotta do something real quick, group photo, and they're all dead. That's basically the entire encampment in one Dragon Slash. Welcome back to another Ventures Loadouts video. Today we're gonna be talking about Dragon Slash. I am actually gonna make this a two-part video, all in one. It's gonna be an extra long video. We're gonna be showcasing Dragon Slash in its purest form, which I've already made a video on, link to that down below. That loadout works in regular missions, so you don't even need to use it in just Ventures, but it often gets boosted in Ventures, and this season, I think, actually increases ability damage. It doesn't say that in here, but it did last season, or last time it was around last year, so I don't know if they changed that or not, but my point is it's actually better in Ventures sometimes, and I made a video on that. That'll be linked down below to get into the ins and outs. And I also made a video on Blakebeard's stash, which is a video that I showcased recently, which is great for Ventures. That scales all the way to the end game. It's a super strong loadout, but in that video I showcased Paleoluna in the lead, which is a fantastic option, but you can put Dragon Slash, or really just Dragon Scorch, in the lead and basically convert that to a Dragon Slash build that uses Blakebeard's stash. Super useful build. We'll show that in the second part of this video, so you can check out the timestamps if you guys want to skip ahead. But let's talk about the loadout and then hop into the encampments mission here. So Dragon Scorch in the lead, of course, he's amazing. Increases your range, width, and damage. It just makes your Dragon Slash super good. Happy Holidays only reduces the cooldown by 4 seconds, but it is a little bit nicer than the Blast from the Past because it's just a little bit spammier. Then we got Return of the Dragon, because I want to be using all of my abilities in this build, and Dragon Slash is the most expensive. In fact, I talked about this in the Igor build where I ran a Smoke Bomb loadout, and I think we used Dragon Scorch, or I think it was Dimmak Mari actually in the lead, where I talked about how the expense of all of our abilities should be taken into account, because Dragon Slash is 50 energy, which means it's going to cost 50 plus 30 plus 40 to use all of my energy, and that is actually more than 100 energy. So we are going to be getting the Pylon as well, and I've already talked about that, because you can see that Dragon Slash, even being reduced to 35 energy, is still making us use 105 energy to spam all of our abilities, which is just a little more than we have. So the energy pylon will boost us to 120, which will mean I'll be able to spam all my abilities, and that's important because the only healing perk in my entire build is Saurian Instinct. Now, I could have used medicinal fumes and healed off of my smoke bombs, but I don't like having to stay still, and in this Venture season, they're going to be dropping gummies all the time and the health potions, so it's not that hard to heal, but I figured Saurian Instinct would be fun. Iwalri really wanted me to use this, and I figured 7.2% is about 39,000-ish, rounded up to 40,000 to say that if I use all 3 of my abilities at once, I'll basically be healing by about 120,000. Considering Survivalist is giving me about 3,000 health per tick once per second, it would take him 13 seconds to match a single ability use, which, if you look at the cooldowns on these abilities, I'm going to be spamming Dragon Slash every 6 seconds, Throwing Stars every 6 seconds, Smoke Bomb's a little slower, but you can see the point that my ability spamming alone should outpace the Survivalist healing there. So I am using Saurian Instinct, and I think that's going to be a good pick. And then, of course, to fund all of this energy usage, we're using Fallen Love Ranger Jonesy, who just gives us 6 energy. I think it's every second. This has been bugged for a while, but sometimes it's not bugged. I don't know. It should be plenty, and I'm not exactly worried about it, because Aura's also going to be running this Dragon Slash build, and in an encampments mission, we're basically going to be annihilating the entire thing instantly. It's not a big deal. For the Smoke Bomb support, we're using Infiltrator Chem. This is a very variable part. You don't need to be boosting Smoke Bomb. You could be boosting Throwing Stars. You could be boosting a weapon. This is the one where you could do whatever you want. Coconuts would be great for healing, but I don't really want to run around and get coconuts. Plus, we're only in the 70 zone, so it's not a big deal. I mentioned this in the Minigun Ventures Loadouts video, where I am intentionally not running this with any high-level players in our party. I want everybody on the team to be my level or his level or lower, because we've basically been playing Ventures together. So there's nobody boosting our stats. And in the 70 zone, this is exactly where we should be, and it doesn't really matter exactly what you use in support, just as long as it's something that boosts this build. Then finally got Tail of the Dragon, just so that our Dragon Slash leaves a bit of energy damage behind it. And yeah, let's hop into the game and just showcase how awesome Dragon Slash can be. Wow, look at that. Energy Pylon was right next to us. So Aura's going to get some Blue Glow to activate that. And I said I'm just going to show off the first encampment here without him, because it's going to be pretty straightforward. So this is kind of the beauty of Dragon Slash. You just group everybody together, say, hey everybody, I gotta do something real quick, group photo, and they're all dead. That's basically the entire encampment in one Dragon Slash. That is how strong this ability can be. Again, I'm not being boosted. We are not over leveled. This is the hardest level mission I can queue that's not a 4-player, and that is how strong Dragon Slash can be. Okay, I'm trying to play it off all casual and everything, but I have always wanted to do that and never actually have completed an entire encampment in one Dragon Slash. And now I'm kind of getting excited. I want to see if I can do it again. Woo! The whole thing in one slash. The only thing we missed was the Mist Monster. That's fine. Easy. Oh, easy knockout. just throw down the smoke bombs, heals myself in the process. Dragon Slash is ready to go for the second wave. Spam it real quick. Oh, and I completely screwed that up. Dragon Slash actually goes through walls a little bit, so ooh, slightly less damage than it takes to kill a Mist monster. I'm gonna have to keep that one in mind, but it doesn't even matter. I know my Xenon bow is a little over leveled, but it's honestly any weapon was gonna finish off those targets. So yeah, next encampment, let's go. Oh, I love hoverboards. Oh, I hope nothing falls into that pit, because if they fall down there, they are going to be unkillable later on, and it could make this encampment take forever. But you got to just be careful to maneuver around, stay away from these exploders, constantly hopping around, throwing the abilities just to heal, and there you go. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Like I mentioned, these health potions are just going to be all over the map. Plus, we can pick up the food from the different animals that we kill, and it's going to make healing not a problem at all. Easy Dragon Slash. With the cooldown on this thing being only 5 seconds or 6 seconds, you shouldn't have to think about it too much. I was doing it for all of our benefits, just to kill them all at once, but it's much quicker to just shoot them. Ooh, perfect timing! Look at it go! Oh, I love the lily pad so much. I love it so much. You know, people complain a lot about this game, and rightfully so. Epic has made some questionable decisions related to Save the World, but moments like that remind me that they have added some pretty cool things. I don't think that's a new feature, I guess, but it's still fun, and the fact that, you know, hoverboards are no longer as useless as they used to be, I always like to have some fun with it while I can, and this Mist monster should be pretty easy. I've actually been getting pretty used to the habit here of spamming my abilities, because like I said, the whole suite of my abilities should heal me for about 120k, and so I've been very eager to stay on top of using them every single time, just so that I'm getting my full healing. Then again, I'm not really taking any damage right now, so I'm probably overthinking it, but hey, you know, habits like this are what protect you from moments when maybe you're not taking a ton of damage, or you are taking a ton of damage suddenly, and then you're not used to healing yourself, and you just gotta stay safe, friends, okay? You just gotta stay safe. It's actually a bigger encampment, the taller one, so we should probably be seeing some Mist monsters. Oh no, even worse. Fatties. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, where that first encampment got one shot, but how well do the bigger targets fare? Okay, they couldn't even survive 2 Dragon Slashes. Okay, well, you know, that's putting me at ease, I'll tell you that much. But those death bombs are catching up to me, so let's get some, yeah, easy health potions on the ground. Can't kill me. Does Dragon Slash break the beehive? It does. So that could be an interesting use case. If you guys are ever struggling with the bees, one Dragon Slash can just cut through all of them and do some really decent damage. That's, of course, some of that extra damage was coming from the Trail of Fire, the Snuggle Specialist. Obviously, a teammate finished off that enemy, but it can be really useful to get that extra residual damage, and that's why I run her in pretty much every single Dragon Slash build. You can also Dragon Slash in front of a group of enemies and then just cut them off, and then as they run forward, they just take damage just like that and kills them all at once. It's a pretty useful way to utilize your loadout, because sometimes people just put heroes into a loadout and then just hope for the best. But sometimes, especially in videos like mine where I'm demonstrating certain builds for your benefit, it can sometimes be lost on a viewer to actually, you know, utilize what's shown. Like, there are certain heroes like Parasaur Jess, for example, where obviously you're spamming abilities in this build, but if you're not actively using all 3 of your abilities, you won't be using her to the effectiveness that's required. So whenever you take my loadout suggestions, I always gotta, you know, I want you to stay on top of using them properly. Not that that's a huge problem, but, you know, figured it was worth mentioning. I do the same thing in Pokemon Go, actually, where somebody will recommend like a team in game where you can only use 3 Pokemon on a team, and then you just seal their team and try it out for yourself, but you don't actually know how the team works. So sometimes you're swapping in the wrong Pokemon at the wrong times, and you don't always know all the matchups, and it's important to do your due diligence. But this loadout is absolutely wrecking. I love it. I love it so much. Ooh, a Smasher. Sorry for any background noise, by the way. My computer fans are just making me sweat, so my desk fan is now on. But this is where Dragon Slash kind of struggles, and this is why encampments were kind of a great place to showcase this build, because the individual damage is not substantial. You will struggle against larger targets like a Smasher, obviously, and that's where like a minigun build, I linked that video earlier, I'm going to link it again, is probably really well paired. If you're running as a full squad and you're running not necessarily encampments, but a more defense-based mission like Ride the Lightning or Atlas's or Retrieve the Data, you could probably utilize having a teammate that is running a minigun or a damage-based build, and then somebody else with Dragon Slash can just clear up the crowds, because minigun sometimes struggles against large crowds of enemies. So it's a really, really great comparison, because look at that, cuts through a whole crowd like they're not even there, but struggles against a single Smasher. So using these teams, using these loadouts on a team, all working together, can be very, very effective. And if you ever need help finding a team, I highly recommend our Discord, link down below. Nowadays, Minerva Discord's got about 30,000 people in it, which is quite a few. You only need like 3 people to join you to fill out a lobby, so 30,000 people, you know, you might find a couple of them. If you ever find somebody who's not nice, though, you know, tell the mods at Fortnite Mods. They are there to make the experience on the server pleasant, since some people are there to make the server experience unpleasant, and that is a constant battle that every community ever will have to face at all times. It's actually the reason we have police, because some people, don't like to treat others nicely. You know what? If that was the first Xenon bow I had gotten, I'd be really happy with that. I'm gonna keep it though, because sometimes I'm a little small brain and I let my Xenon bow break, and I figure keeping that as a backup to save myself from myself might not be the worst idea I've ever had. I have broken weapons and ventures before in a heartbreaking way. Like, I had a vacuum tube bow one season that was reload, crit damage, chain lightning. They all have chain lightning, but it was, I think, Miss Monsters and Bosses too. I believe it was truly perfect perks. That, or there was like one thing that was off with it, and I let it break. And I knew it was low. I knew I should have repaired it. I just didn't. People in chat told me to heal my bow, and I just didn't. And to this day, I'm upset about it. No, don't fly away. Don't. Okay, all right. What do you got? Just trap to recycle. That's fine. Honestly, even if you're recycling the items you get from those crows, it's still free loot, and I really, really love that they had that in the game. And honestly, it broke for a while and got fixed. So I don't know why I'm defending Epic so much today, but I mean, they do nice things too. You gonna head to the store later, Beast? Oh, you're saying later as a goodbye. I thought you were just telling me you were gonna go to the store later. I was so confused. Like, why are you saying this? Woo! It's like the Oxford comma. Let's go eat grandma and let's go eat grandma are 2 very different sentences, and the only difference is a comma. Oh man, this last encampment. You know, it's not even like a final boss. This is just going down super easily. And I mentioned this in the minigun video too, that throwing drones at the end are typically recommended. I typically use my drones throughout, but I'm trying to showcase Dragon Slash, so I'm not trying to get all my damage taken away by drones, but might as well use them. I mean, we're not going to have any more encampments after this one, so throwing drones can be a great way to thin out the herd. You know, I brought the drone for a reason. I might as well use it. Haven't used my health healing at all, so, you know. But I don't think the abilities are too big of a deal, because not exactly a very difficult mission, and boom, I think that's it. Easy Dragon Slash run. Encampments are just the perfect place for Dragon Slash to run wild, so I'm gonna build that second loadout and probably do encampments again. And for those who care about damage, I'm at 4984. Pretty good game. All right, we're gonna make this quick again. This is a combination of the Dragon Slash build we just used last game and the Blakebeard Stash build. So yeah, Dragon Scorch in the lead, of course. Blakebeard Stash, coconuts, cannonball damage, club damage, of course. That's gonna be our main damage, I think. And then we got Till the Dragon, because it's awesome as shown. And then Battle Beat is an interesting one to keep, because that will increase the attack speed of the club, which definitely needs that. The peg leg's a pretty slow swinging weapon. So I think I'm going to be using Dragon Slash to activate Battle Beat. Then I'm gonna switch to the club to do some fast damage. We're gonna see how that works out and just hop in game. Oh my god, we have another one of those big lily pads. Look at it go! Same plan as last time, by the way. Aura's gonna go get the blue glow and get the energy pylon active so that we can spam abilities more often. I am going to get this first encampment taken care of, which is also nice that I do this solo, because I think he's running Blakebeard Stash too. It's going to be a little tricky to get the ability active, but as shown, Dragon Slash of all abilities is probably the best for killing large crowds of enemies quickly, and oh my god, we got lucky. We actually got it quickly! No way, Blakebeard Stash in a reasonable amount of time? This is beautiful! Already got that energy pylon active, which is honestly something I didn't mention much in the last video, but look at that. I can Dragon Slash, do the throwing stars, smoke bomb, and it's exactly enough energy. Wait, what? How is it exactly? Oh, that's right. We don't have Sarah Hotep in this build. So because I don't have any reduction to the energy cost on my Dragon Slash, I am actually going to be very much so in need of that pylon, which is kind of cool. And I had this weird feeling last game where I feel like I don't want to over-represent my... like, I don't want this build to look better than it is because of the energy pylon. But at the same time, any of you watching can always activate that pylon yourself in pretty much every mission. So I don't feel like it's completely unfair, and I'm probably being completely unreasonable. This is actually great for movement. I know Aura needs these treasure chests, so I'm good, Aura, if you can hear me. I don't need any more treasure chests, but it's good to close the gap, because you can see you know, I can't exactly get over there quickly, and if my Dragon Slash was available, that would have helped me close the gap. So I'm gonna try and do that over here. So for example, like if I want to hit something with a peg leg, I can just Dragon Slash over, doing damage in the process, and it just moves me forward. And with the Dragon Slash users in this game, it's super, super useful. Look at that damage, my guy. Here we go, another wave. Nice swath of damage. Mist Monster's dead. And just cleaning up the rest. Nothing to it. Nothing to it. I actually think I'm gonna put my peg leg over here. Because I think of like the peg leg as my primary damage, and then the cannonball is secondary. And for me, that's always just been the placement on my hotkeys. So there you go. If anybody wants a video on my hotkeys, I'll link that down below. Not the most entertaining video of all time, but some people do ask me, so I figure I might as well remind you that it exists. All right, encampment number 4. I can count. Here we go. I always am tempted to just start with Dragon Slash, because obviously there's a big crowd of enemies to start, and this is exactly what my plan was. You Dragon Slash once, activate Battle Beat, and then use the peg leg extra attack speed to do more damage in a smaller amount of time than you otherwise would, and that is exactly how that went. So I'm going to eliminate those, grab the encampment, or whatever this thing is, chest, and get ready for the next crowd, which is coming in very slowly. They're scared, I think. They see the Blakebeard stash builds and they can't even keep up. And I actually wanted to talk more about this build because I've said it a million times in this video and the other one, the original Blakebeard stash video, where I keep saying that this scales to the end game, and it really does. I was actually using this build when I was playing with my higher level friends, and because those peg legs will scale with your power level, they will be about power level 144 in the end game if your max power level hero is also 144. So if you supercharge your commander, meaning the, in this case, Dragon Scorch, you'll actually get supercharged peg legs, and that will do more and more and more damage, keeping up with your Adventures level all the way. So, I really do recommend this loadout as, like, if you are one of those people who doesn't care about fun and doesn't want to rely on getting decent weapons, I do think this is a fun build, but if you use it constantly, it's not as fun. So if you're one of those people who doesn't care and just wants to use the same loadout all season long, this is a contender. I don't think it can do absolutely everything forever. I recommend running maybe a constructor or two with your teammates maybe, but it is definitely a good pick. And I mentioned in the earlier clip that Dragon Slash can go through walls. That is what I'm talking about. You can actually just go up against a wall, and it's a short amount of range, but it can be done. Remember, these shielders, by the way, if you're ever having an encampment get hung up, those shielders do actually contribute to the remaining life. So you can have one of those just hanging out, and the mission will never start until it's taken care of. So always be on the lookout for them. Easy damage. I love it so much. These cannonballs, I always want to use them sparingly because you don't get necessarily a ton of them, but I right-clicked on accident, but they can be very, very useful for when you need them. I do also think they count as a ranged weapon, so I do think that they'll have reduced damage inside of the smoke bomb, but you wouldn't know it considering the amount of damage I just dealt. It doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. I love this build so much. Ooh, let's clean up these treasure chests. I'll let Aura have, there we go, a couple of them. We gotta share our, okay, I guess he's just gonna let me have it. I was gonna say we gotta share our chests evenly, but it's probably okay. I've told him already, don't hesitate to pick up as many as you want, because I know he can hear me in the stream, and I don't want him to feel like I'm hogging, because I know that he likes to let me showcase these videos, which is awesome. He's very, very helpful in supporting me there, but I also don't want him to ever run out of peg legs on my account, because that's kind of something you have to work with when you're running this loadout as a team, because if multiple people are running treasure chests, it can become kind of a fight where multiple people could want the same ones, but it's okay. You just gotta play with people who are respectful, and everything should be fine. This loadout is such a great combination. I wonder how many good heroes can support this build as well as like Dragon Slash. Like Paleo Luna obviously increases the club damage by a ton. Dragon Slash also just helps you get the build active, because something I've struggled with in the past when running this loadout, as you've seen even in the Blakebeard video, where I think I cut this out in the video, but I did mention it, that there were about 60 kills where I just could not get a treasure chest, and in that time frame, you essentially don't have a team perk. So what happens is you need to actually rely on getting lucky with your kills or with an ability damage or traps to get that ability active, because if you can't get a treasure chest, you don't have an ability loadout, or you don't have a team perk, I should say. And that also applies to Paleo Luna, who, if you're running Paleo Luna with this build, if she doesn't have a good melee or, you know, the peg legs to work with, you essentially don't have a commander perk or a team perk until it's actually active. I know these clips were recorded way out of order, but I had the thought later on. So Dragon Slash is a strong enough damage output and ability that can actually get you enough kills to get the treasure chest to activate the actual team perk. That was extremely long-winded, but suffice it to say, it's a great pairing. All right. Let's see here. You know, I gotta hop off my mobility machine. I was on that for a long time. I could not find this last encampment. I guess it's not the last encampment, but this next encampment. But we got there. You know, we made it there. Sometimes it feels like a road trip. Also, come to think of it, I haven't eaten a single coconut, which is kind of an oops, my bad, but kind of a good testament that this entire build has been as strong as it is without any extra healing or any extra damage from the coconuts. That's kind of awesome, because coconuts, not eating these means I've been working with like 16% less damage bonus this entire time, which is suboptimal, but it doesn't even matter. You kind of have to worry about that more in the end game more than anything, and for now it's completely fine. This build is already strong enough without it. All right, I don't think this is the last encampment. I think we have one more after this, but this is just a nice little victory lap. I love running these builds. I also like these longer form videos. It's probably too late to ask this, since if you're watching this, you clearly don't mind it. But if you guys want to share an opinion on these longer videos, let me know. Because as a YouTuber, I like, see, look at these shielders hanging up the encampment. As a YouTuber, I like the idea of getting multiple videos out of this. You know, like this video here could have been 2 separate uploads, but lately I've got enough video ideas cooking that I just can't post them all. I like to post every other day, and 15 videos a month is really not enough to show everything I like to talk about. So it's actually, production-wise, pretty okay for me to showcase both of these in one video, and I don't think many of you would actually mind a longer video. You know, considering considering the most popular video on my entire channel is 2 hours long, followed by my second most popular video on my entire channel being 3 hours long, I don't even know why I'm wasting my breath asking you guys, but I figured I still want feedback anyway. So if you guys prefer 2 separate videos on the same subject or 1 super long one, let me know. But I think I like this because I'm going to do something in the Black Drum video. I don't know when that video will go out. This video is probably going to be fast-tracked, so it might not be public yet. I'm still going to link it down below. It might not be public when you see it, so just give me some time for that to go out. But that was an encore video where I was running a weapon loadout, and I just enjoyed it so much that I figured I'm just going to run it again with a different loadout even. It's kind of a cool way to showcase different variations, because I mentioned in the Blakebeard stash video that, you know, Dragon Slash or other builds can be good too, and to showcase that in the exact same upload, it's kind of cool. I enjoy being able to do that, and I think that might be a mainstay. And if like a loadout's really strong, I can absolutely take advantage of this and do it. Where are our enemies? What? Did some go into that cave down below or something? What's going on? It doesn't matter. That gives me a chance to talk, because some of these longer videos might be more fun for you guys, and I don't mind it. And also, the Black Drum video not being public right now kind of speaks to exactly what I'm saying, where I get excited about different uploads, and because of my every other day schedule, it can take weeks for a video I'm excited about to be seen by you guys, my viewers, because lately I've been just, you know, showcasing fun loadouts, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to be coy about it. These videos don't take a ton of time to record, because all the gameplay is live, and then I cut it together pretty comfortably, and then I can produce several of these in one session, which means that they can stack up pretty quickly, and I think an extra long video is a great way for me to show more things to you guys without spreading it over a bunch of uploads that could take weeks to be seen. So anyway, that's my little tangent. Thank you guys for watching. I didn't get max damage. Aura took over on that one. Good job, Aura. Thank you again, Aura, as well, for getting the pylons active and helping me with these builds and these videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, and yeah, take it easy. And then